Ako ba yun sa intro? Sa ano lang? Hanapin ko lang copy. 13th month pay. So, according to Presidential Decree number 851, all employees must provide their employees with a 13th month pay. Therefore, slack and flap employees who have been with business for at least 1 month will receive their 13th month pay on or before December 10. So basically, ang 13th month pay is additional pay siya sa mga employees. Kinakalculate siya, ano, saan? Wait lang. Excuse me. Kinakalculate siya which is yung full monthly salaries divided by 12. Then sa service incentive leaves, in compliance with the Article 95 of Labor Codes, knock and pop employees who have worked for the business for at least a year will be eligible for five days of leave credits annual. So, bibigyan natin sila ng parang paid leave ba yan? Yun lang naman.
Sa pag-ibig naman, in accordance with RA Act number 9679, stock and pop employees ay required also na mag-contribute sa Home Development Mutual Fund, commonly known as the Pag-ibig Fund. Mandatory savings to primarily intended for housing purposes. It offers financial assistance to Filipinos to enable them to afford decent housing. Like SSS, both employees and employers yung mag-contribute para dito. Workers who earn less than 1,500 a month contribute 1% of their salary to the Pag-ibig Fund. Yung mga worker naman na nag-earn more than 1,500 a month, ay 2% naman. Tapos yung employers naman, need nila mag-contribute 2% regardless sa salary bracket ng employee.
Holiday pay. Employees who do not work on a holiday are entitled to receive 100% of their wage under Articles 93 and 94 of the Philippine Labor Code. If they work on a holiday, they are paid an additional 30% of their regular income. If the holiday falls on a scheduled rest day, they are paid an extra 50%. Kapag regular holiday and pumasok yung employee on that day, instead na basic pay yung matatanggap niya, magiging double pay. It means may additional 100% sa basic pay nila. Kapag special holiday naman, may additional na 30% sa basic pay nila. So, yan yung mga regular holiday na So, PhilHealth. So, every company or businesses, their employees must have their PhilHealth because they can use it if ever na magkaroon ng medical expenses yung employee mismo or yung family members nila na beneficiary nito. When it comes to paying contribution naman, equally nababayaran yun ng employer and employee. Therefore, if 5% yung rate ng contribution sa PhilHealth, ang babayaran ng employee and employer ay tig 2.5% sila. So, equal yung babayaran.
Next naman is maternity leave. Mali ako dyan kasi iba yung nailagay ko. Dapat yung expansion of maternity leave yung nailagay dyan. Then, yung 100 days dyan, may mababasa kayo dyan, 100 days. 105 days po dapat siya. Yun, under ng expansion ng maternity leave, the female employees granted 105 days of maternity leave with full pay of childbirth, regardless of mode of delivery. Pwede siyang may apply on situation ng pagbubuntis, pagkakunan or yung emergency termination of pregnancy. Usually para sa lahat ng babae kahit anong civil status niya, either single, married, and solo parent. For live childbirth, makatanggap sila ng 105 days of maternity leave with full pay. Then, yung mga nanay naman na dumaan for miscarriage or emergency termination of pregnancy, usually 60 days lang of maternity leave pero full pay na naman siya. And yung mga nanay na solo parents, kailangan qualified siya under Republic Act number 8972 or Solo Parents Welfare Act of 2000. Nakakatanggap sila ng 105 days plus 15 days of maternity leave with full pay. Pwede silang mag-extend ng 30 days pero optional lang naman yun. Then wala po yung bayad. Para makapag-avail nito, need mo na muna nila na magpasa ng advance notice before 30 days ng effectivity leave, tas ipapasa yon ng employer sa SSS. Then kailangan nakapagbayad siya ng 3 months of contribution sa SSS sa loob ng 12 months of period bago siya manganak. And also kailangan niya ng medical certificate or yung ultrasound report na patunay ng pagbubuntis niya. For paternity leave naman, usually granted lang siya sa mga married male employee, which is inaalaw sila na hindi magtrabaho for 7 working days, and also bayad yun. Need nila na i-inform yung employee regarding sa pregnancy ng asawa niya and yung expected date ng delivery.
Sa overtime pay naman, Snack and Pop guarantees that its employees are fairly paid for working overtime. Naglaan ng extra time and effort yung employees natin kaya dapat ay compensated sila ron. Bukod dito, in accordance ito with the Labor Code of the Philippines, meaning legal obligation to ng bawat employer sa kanilang employees. Pag di kasi ito nasunod, pwede tayong kasuhan or mag-file ng complaints yung employees natin against us. Employees who work more than 8 hours a day shall receive overtime pay at a rate at least 125% of their regular hourly wage. Employees who perform overtime work naman on rest days or special holidays will be paid a higher rate of 130% or 100 to 150% depending sa labor laws.
Audible naman siguro ako, no? So, sa separation pay, yung ano lang naman dito, sa Snack and Pops, hindi siya sa atin is magbibigay tayo ng cash subsidy sa mga employees kapag natanggal sila sa trabaho na hindi nila kasalanan or authorized reason. Such as yung redundancy, retrenchment, or business closure. Yung retrenchment, yun yung kapag nagka-financial problem tayo sa business and kailangan natin magbawas ng tao para makasurvive pa rin yung business natin. And yung redundancy, ito kapag sobra yung workers natin. Like, kunwari, paulit-ulit na yung trabaho or nagiging extra na yung ginagawa ng employee na yun. Ganun. Kaya pwede tayo magtanggal ng employee sa business natin. Yung business closure, yun yung, it explains self naman na kapag nagsara yung business natin, like decision lang natin is makakakuha pa rin ng separation pay yung, or cash assistance yung mga employees na yun. So, as we follow the rules set by the Labor Code of the Philippines, yun yung mandated benefit under Article 283 na now Article 298 of the Labor Code. Yung mga affected na employees is makakakuha ng separation pay of 1 month salary for every year of employment. Meaning, for every full year na nagtrabaho ka, equivalent na isang buwan ng sahod mo ang ibibigay sa'yo as separation pay. Then kapag 6 months or more naman is considered as 1 full year siya. So sa sick leave naman, yung sick leave is about sa health protection for employees. Actually, yung sa Labor Code of the Philippines is wala talagang specific na sick leave law, yung batas mismo. Kumbaga halos same sila dun sa SIL or yung kanina na Service Incentive Leave, yung Article 95. And sinasabi nga dun sa law na yun is kapag naka-1 year employee sa business, is meron siyang 5 days leave with pay per year. Eh, yung sa atin is nakalagay na 5 to 7 days. So, yung SIL na yun is pwede siyang gamitin for vacation leave or sick leave. Eh, pag sa atin nga is sick leave, so 5 to 7 days in absence, is makakakuha pa rin siya ng salary even yung employee is hindi nagtatrabaho. And yun nga, yung purpose nito is para ma-maintain pa rin yung smooth operation ng business natin. And yun nga pala, yung need pala ng employee na ma-inform yung management as soon as possible regarding sa absence nila. Kung more than 2 consecutive days yung sick leave niya, kailangan magbigay siya ng medical certificate for proof. Then yung unused sick leave pala is hindi siya pwedeng ma-convert into cash, pero pwede siyang ma-carry over next year para ma-support yung long-term employee welfare. Pero yun nga, based sa law, pwede siyang i-convert to cash by the end of the year.
So, sa SSS or Social Security System, under Republic Act number 1161, dito lang is yung snack and pack and yung employees ay magbabayad ng monthly contribution. Ang purpose lang ng SSS para sa mga employees is para magkaroon ng financial support yung mga employees or yung families nila during unforeseen situation. Example, yung sickness, disability, maternity, unemployment, and retirement. Yung sa SSS is parang safety net lang, natutulong sa mga workers when they face difficulties or when they reach retirement age. Sa parental leave for solo parent naman, under Republic Act number 18972, yung leave na to is to support yung mga employees na nagtataguyod mag-isa sa mga anak nila. So yung solo parent employees ng Snack and Pop ay may 7 days paid leave every year. Pero para magamit nila yung leave na to, may conditions na kailangan silang sundin. Kailangan lang nila na kailangan solo parent sila under the law. Nakapag-render lang sila ng at least 6 months service sa company or sa business. May solo parent ID and kailangan nilang magpaalam sa kanilang employer kung magli-leave sila. Ayan.
Dito naman sa fringe benefit, yung first na benefit is the birthday leave. Basically, siya, paid day off na pwede nilang gamitin yung araw na yon sa mismong birthday nila or before or after. Yun lang yung mismong definition ng birthday leave. Kumbaga, pa-birthday leave yun. Then next naman is yung monthly allowance. Ayan, makakatanggap yung mga employee ng 500 peso monthly allowance or bonus sa end ng month. Ayan lang. Kay Roy yung next, wala ata siya.
Proceed muna tayo sa next. Mamaya na lang yung kay Roy pag nakapasok na siya.
Dito naman sa motivational strategies, pinili namin yung McClellan's 3 Needs Theory dahil simple, flexible, at people-centered. Mas madali para sa mga managers na maintindihan kung ano yung nagmo-motivate sa employees at para gamitin yan para ma-improve yung performance nila. Sa left column, ito yung yung explanation ng theory ng need for achievement. According daw kay McClelland, some people are strongly motivated by achievement. These employees perform better when they have goals to reach, recognition to gain, or awards to win. They like being on top, recognized, and credited for their efforts. Sa middle column naman, makikita natin dito kung paano natin in-apply yung need for achievement theory by rewarding and recognizing employees for their loyalty and service. Yung recognition program natin includes Year of Service Award. Ito yung ibibigay natin sa employees who have stayed with the company for a certain time. Tapos incentives din, like cash, home, comfort items. Sa right column naman, ito naman yung cost breakdown nung mga nung program na yun. Actually, marami 'tong program kaso tinanggal na yung iba kasi super laki ng magiging cost. Sa right column, ito yung cost breakdown. Yung Year of Service Award, ito yung home comfort incentive. 7K, 7.5 yung magagastos natin. Meron tayong 5 employees. Tapos tig 1.5 sila sa home comfort incentive. Tayo na mag-iisip kung ano ibibigay natin sa kanila. Tapos, may cash bonus din na 7.5 in total. 5 employees, tapos tig 1.5 ulit sila. Tapos yung total cost nitong lahat is 15K.
Sa need for flowers naman, yung meaning lang nun is according to Maclellan, people feel motivated when they can influence and control others or situation. These people often seek leadership position, taking charge in taking charge and striving to make an impact. So yung sa second column, it's kung paano natin mapapaano yung mga employees, tawag doon, paano natin i-a-apply yung need for powers. So, the company will support employees to develop their skills, leadership, and decision making. Sa first column is magbibigay lang tayo ng leadership training para ma-develop yung skills ng mga employee when it comes to decision making and sa pagkakaroon ng leadership skills. Sa pangalawang bullet naman is encourage everyone na mag-share ng ideas and suggestions nila during meetings para ma-share nila yung thoughts nila na makakabuti sa company. Sa pangatlo naman is magkakandak lang ng monthly performance evaluation para makita yung leadership potential or yung potential skills ng employees. Then, para makapagbigay ng feedback din yung mga nakakataas na makakatulong sa career growth ng employees. So, sa budget cost, yung nilagay ko na lang is 0 cost para bawas na lang din sa expenses. Ang gagawin na lang is yung sa leadership training, internal na lang yung yung mangyayari dito. So, gagamitin na lang natin yung existing resources ng company like yung sa yung sa mga managers or yung seniors na lang yung mga pwedeng magturo sa leadership training or leadership training. So, hindi na kailangan ng extra ng gastos dito.
Sa need for affiliation naman, according to Macmillan, yung motivate ang tao kung makikita niya yung position niya relative sa mga taong kasama niya or sa mismong goal niya in mind. For example, is meron kang position na gustong ma-achieve, kunyari gusto maging manager. Motivated ka kasi meron kang ladder na aakyatin. Or pwede naman ma-affiliate mo dahil pinupuri ka ng mga coworkers mo. And sa second part is yung mga steps para ma-assess natin yung mga employee natin. Kung okay ba sila sa mga coworkers nila or may gusto ba silang i-achieve. First is yung trust building exercises. Pwede siyang open forums or discussion nila about sa gusto nilang mangyari sa careers nila. Then, sa second naman is employee personality evaluations. So, pumapasok din dito yung mga HR conflicts. Kunyari, may naiinggit kasi na-promote yung isang katabraho bago siya. Dun din natin i-resolve yung mga yun. Or, merong mga employee na parang feeling nila matagal na silang nagtatrabaho and nag-e-effort pero walang affiliation na tatanggap dahil hindi naman sila pinupuri or parang hindi lang sila nakikita ng management. Doon natin gagamitin yung evaluations and para malaman natin yung ano bang gusto nila at paano ma-improve yung parang moods nila. Sa budget, nilagay ko lang dito is yung syempre yung uniform for the activity, then snacks, saka yung mga form na gagamitin. Yun lang man. Yearly din pala siya. So, every month, gagawin natin yung mga activities to consult the employees. Yun lang.
So, for manpower equipment naman, sa Snack and Pop, it consists of both regular employees and outsourced employees. For regular employees, sila yung directly hired by the company and part sila ng daily operations. So, we have 1 star head and 4 crews. So a total of 5 employees for our business. Then sa outsourced employee naman, sila yung hired hindi sila hired directly ng company. Like hired sila externally for specific task lang. Like yung sa accountant, hindi sila part ng daily operation pero nakatask sila for financial record ng business. Next. So, para ma-maintain yung professionalism and uniformity, nag-implement tayo ng respective uniforms for employees. Sa Starhead, naka-black na polo shirt, while sa crew naman is white. So, same sila na may company logo and orange details. Next. So, for bottom, yung Starhead and crew is parehong naka-black pants or slacks lang. Next. So then, syempre need natin ng PPE like apron, mask, and hairnet para masunod yung tamang sanitation for food handling. Next. Then, sa official ID naman, doon nakalagay yung mga information ng employees like yung name, position, contact number, address, and email address. Next. And then sa back pala, is yung person lang na iko-contact in case of emergency.
So next naman is yung manpower schedule. So dito sa manpower schedule, dito nakalagay kung ilang tao yung kailangan per day, anong trabaho nila, and kung ano yung working hours nila. So first position is yung sa storehead. So regular lang din siya. Regular siya meaning permanent yung iniin natin na employees. And then type of employees full-time. And then, yung kailangan lang natin na storehead for the business is isa lang naman. And yung working hours per day ng storehead is total of 8 hours. And yung working days ng storehead per month is 26 days. And then yung sa crew naman, job status niya regular din. And unlike sa storehead, yung crew part-time lang siya. And sa crew, we need 4 employees para sa operation ng business natin. And 5 hours per day lang, 5 hours per day lang each crew kasi shift lang yung time nila unlike sa storehead na full time. And yung working days nila per month is 26 days lang. 26 days din katulad sa storehead. The next is yung sa accountant. So job status niya is on call lang kasi katulad nga ng sinabi kanina ni Maricel, hindi naman siya kailangan lagi sa daily operation. Kaya outsource lang yung accountant natin kasi hindi naman siya palaging kailangan sa trabaho and hindi rin siya kukunin sa may yung accountant hindi siya manggagaling sa mismong company natin. So outsource meaning sa labas natin siya kukunin. So isang accountant lang yung need natin and wala siyang working hours per day and also working days kasi binabayaran natin yung accountant quarterly, not monthly like sa mga employees natin. Kasi like I said nga, they only work when it's time para mag-prepare ng mga financial statements. So operating hours natin is 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So a total of 10 hours. So next naman dito is sa may daily schedule. So may mali talaga dito sa schedule na nagawa dito. Napag-usapan na namin to nila Roy at nila Maricel nung meeting doon sa Angel's Pizza. And etong schedule na nandito dito sa may Monday, ito yung revised na naginawa ko. And then, itong nasa Tuesday, ito yung talaga nakalagay sa paper. So, first, anuin ko muna tong sa yung talagang nakalagay sa paper. So, sa storehead kasi, bale na pag-usapan dito, ay wait lang, explain ko muna, itong mga shades, yung mga yellow shades na to, ito yung oras na nag-work sila. So, kapag walang shade, yung yung mga dito, tables, ibig sabihin, hindi yan sila nagtatrabaho that time. And then, so sa storehead kasi, bale na pag-usapan dito kasi na malilate daw ng 2 hours yung storehead para ma-target yung 8 hours per day. Kaso, mali nga daw yon kasi normally, yung storehead talaga yung nauuna sa store para mag-regular check ng mga goods inside the store. And aside from that, 'di ba 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., total hours is 8 hours. Hindi pala kasama sa 8 hours yung break ni storehead. Kasi sinama na din sa 8 hours yung break niya. So mali talaga. Magiging 7 hours lang yung working hours niya kung included na sa 8 hours. Kung included na sa 8 hours yung break niya. So mali talaga tong schedule na nandito sa may storehead. And then, so may crew 1 and 2 naman, which is for the opening shift. Sa crew naman, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. yung schedule nila. So, a total of 5 hours yon. Kasi nga part-time lang sila. So, kaya may hati dito sa may gitna or wala siyang shade. It means 12:30 to 1 p.m. 12:30 to 1 p.m. is yung, ay mali, ano pala, 12 to 12:30 p.m. is yung 30 minutes. Ay, sorry, mali. 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. is yung 30 minutes break nila. And compensated na din yun, meaning yung break time na ibibigay natin sa kanila is included na yun sa salary nila. Kumbaga, parang tulad nga na napag-usapan namin nun, tatlo, parang magiging mabait na lang tayo dun sa part na yun na para lang makomplete yung 5 hours na working hours nila per day. So, yung 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., 5 hours na yon na working hours nila kasama yung etong 30 minutes na break time nila. So, 30 minutes lang yung break time nila kasi part-time lang naman sila. Unlike sa store head, 8 hours yung kailangan niyang ma-fulfill per day. Fulfill per day. And sa crew naman, 5 hours lang. So, 30 minutes lang yung ibibigay natin na break time for them. And then, for crew 3 and 4, papasok sila ng 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So, total of 5 hours din. So, by 5:30 to 6 p.m. is yung break time naman nila. And same then with the crew 1 and 2, bayad na din yung buong 5 hours nila, including the 30 minutes break. So, ito yung nakalagay sa paper. Ito yung ide-defend natin. Pero, itong sa revise na to, ewan ko kung pwede bang ito na lang yung i-defend natin sa mga panel. Pero ito na yung revise na nagawa namin. Explain ko na lang din. So, ang balak namin is, hindi na malilate ng 2 hours yung storehead kasi nga nakalagay din doon sa may job analysis na trabaho talaga ng storehead na siya yung nag-oversee ng daily operation from opening and to closing ng store. So, merong 2 hours break dyan yung store head. So, makikita nyo na yung 11 a.m., ginawa namin dito para nandun talaga yung store head sa loob ng store natin. Hinati namin yung break ng 11 a.m. at saka ng 5 p.m. So, sa 11 a.m., meron lang siyang from 11 a.m. to 12, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Yeah. 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. meron lang siyang 30 minutes break. And then sa 2 p.m. meron siyang 1 hour break. And then 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. meron siyang 30 minutes break. So, total of 2 hours break yon. So, ibig sabihin yan, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., nandoon yung store head sa loob ng store natin. So, wala nang problem doon kasi na-fulfill na ng store head. Kumbaga, kapag 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. kasi, na mapufulfill niya yung nandun sa may job analysis natin na ma-oversee niya yung daily operation from opening to closing ng ship. So, ayun yung naisip namin na revision for the store head. And then, sa may crew naman, ang na, ang babaguhin lang dito kasi I think mas okay if naisip ko lang if wag na lang pagsabayin yung break ng crew 1 and 2. So like, 'di ba kanina dito sabay sila from crew 1 and 2. Same sila ng break. So I think mas okay if magkaiba sila. Kunyari, sa crew 1, ang break niya is from 12 to 12:30 p.m. While yung ay sorry, yung ano pala, crew 1, yung break niya is from 12:30 to 1 p.m. While yung crew 2 naman, yung magiging break niya is from 12 p.m. to 12:30 p.m. Para kahit papano, may nag-ooperate pa rin inside the store every 30 minutes ng break nila. So, same lang din with the crew 3 and 4. Meron din silang um, every every 5 p.m. meron silang 30 minutes break. Magkaiba din katulad sa crew 1 and 2 para um, meron pa rin nag-aasikaso inside the store. So, para wala tayong nami-missed out na customer in case man na merong mga bibili nun during that time. So, yeah, same. Ito lang yung, okay, maguguluhan na. Ito, revision lang to. Kumbaga, at the end of the defense pa yan. Pero ito talaga yung nakalagay sa paper. So, sana pwede natin gamit to. Pero ko, pag-usapan na lang natin sa Saturday yung mangyayari dyan. So, same lang din to from Monday to Saturday, ganun lang din yung schedule nila. Yeah. So, yun lang.
Manpower payroll computation. So, yung Snack and Pop, nag-ooperate siya under the Barangay Micro Business Enterprise. Other, otherwise known as Republic Act number 9178. So, basically, this is a law na ginawa para tulungan yung mga small businesses here in the Philippines. Yung main goal ng BMBE is to support small businesses by giving them different benefits such as tax exemption, easier registration, fewer requirements, and exempted din sa minimum wage law. So, pwede tayo na mag-set ng pasahod based sa kakayahan ng business. Pero syempre dapat meron pa rin na ibinibigay yung basic benefits like SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. So, present payroll computation. So, yung starhead natin, yung working hours per day niya is 8 hours. Yung early wage niya is 80.63. Etong 80.63, naka-round up yan. Exactly yan, 80.625. So, dahil 2 decimals lang naman yung ginagamit natin, ginawa ko na siyang 80.63. Yung number of working days per month naman is 26 days in a month. Yung daily salary, para makuha yung daily salary, yung early wage niya, imumultiply sa number of working hours per day. So, 80.63 times 8 is 645.4. Pero yung nilagay dito is exactly na 645 since naka-round up lang naman yung 80.63. Para makuha naman yung monthly salary, daily salary times number of working days per month. So 645 times 26, ang makukuha is 16,770. For annual salary naman, yung monthly salary, imumultiply lang siya by 12 since there 12 months in a year. So, pag minultiply yung 16,770 by 12, ang makukuha is 201,240 pesos. Yun yung magiging annual salary ng starhead natin. Para naman sa crew, 5 hours yung working hours per day, and then yung early wage is 50 pesos. Yung number working of days per month is 26. Para sa daily salary, 50, 50, 50 times 5 and you will get 250. Yan yung daily salary ng each crew natin. Para naman sa monthly salary, imumultiply lang yung daily salary sa number of working days per month. So, 26 yun. So, 250 multiplied by 26, ang makuha is 6,500. So, 6,500, yun yung monthly salary ng mga crew. Para naman sa annual salary, ganun lang din, monthly salary multiplied by 12. So, 6,500 times 12, ang makukuha is 78,000. 78,000, yun yung annual salary ng mga crew.
Wait lang, te. Bago link tayo, leave mo na kayo kasi mag-end.
Sa deductions ng mga benefits, first yung sa SSS. So, sa Starhead, yung monthly salary, di ba, is 16,770 pesos. So, yung rate ng deduction for SSS is 10% para sa employer and 5% naman para sa employee. Yun yung ibabawas sa monthly salary ng employee. So, dito, yung employer, ang babayaran niya per contribution sa SSS ng Starhead is 1,677. So, nakuha yan by 16,000, minultiply siya sa 10%. So, 16,000 times 16,770 times 10%, yun yung 1,677. Para naman sa employee, 5% ng monthly salary niya yung deduction. So, yung 5% ng 16,770 is 838.50. Yan yung ibabawas sa salary niya. So, yung total niyan, para makuha, 1,677 plus 838.50, a total of 2,515.50. Ganon din sa crew. Yung monthly salary ng crew is 6,500. Kukunin natin yung 10% nun para yun yung magiging contribution ng employer. So, yung 10% ng 6,500 is 650. Para naman sa employee, 5% ng monthly salary niya yung magiging deduction. So, yung 5% ng 6,500 is 325. And then, yung total nun is 975. 650 plus 325, total of 975. Ganun lang din sa ibang crew since pare-pareho lang naman sila ng sahod. Para naman sa PhilHealth, yung contribution rate ng PhilHealth is 5%. And yung 5% na yon, paghahatian yon ng employee and employer. So, para dito sa Starhead, kukunin natin yung 5% ng monthly salary nila, which is yung 5% ng 16,770 is 838.50. And then, i-divide by 2 natin yun since equal nga yung babayaran ng employer and employee sa contribution ng PhilHealth. So, yung 5% na 838 magiging divide by 2 magiging 419.25. So, 419.25 yun yung babayaran ng employer and employee para sa contribution ng PhilHealth para sa storehead, a total of 838.50. Para naman sa crew, yung ganun lang din, yung 5% ng monthly salary, pag kukunin nun sa 6,500, kukunin yung 5% doon. And then, paghahatian nyo ng employer and employee sa pagbabayad ng contribution. So, yung 5% ng 6,500 is 325. So, i-divide by 2 yun since equally nga yung babayaran ng employer and employee. So, magiging 162.50. Yun yung babayaran ng employer and employee. Tig 162.50 sila. A total of 325. Para naman sa pag-ibig, dito ang rate ng deduction is 2%. Pero, ang maximum na magiging deduction is 200 pesos. So, para sa storehead, ang sahod niya kasi is 16,770. So, pag kinuha natin yung 2% niyan is, wait lang. So, yung 2% ng monthly salary ng storehead is 335.40. Pero, hindi yun yung ibabawas sa salary niya since ang maximum nga na cap ng pag-ibig is 200 pesos. So, 200 pesos lang yung i-deduct sa salary niya. And yun din naman yung magiging contribution ng employer. Tig 200 sila. So, yung total is 400. Para naman sa crew, kukunin lang yung 2% ng monthly salary. So, yung 2% ng 6,500 is 130. So, tig 130 yung babayaran ng employer and employee para sa contribution ng pag-ibig. So, yung total nun is 260. So, para makuha yung total deduction para sa storehead, ipagpa-plus lang yung contribution na ide-deduct sa salary nila from SSS hanggang sa pag-ibig. So, yung total deduction nun is para sa storehead ay 1,457.75. Yun yung contribution na 838.50 para sa SSS, 419.25 para naman sa PhilHealth, and then yung 200 na para sa pag-ibig. Yung total nun is 1,457.75. Sa net pay naman, makukuha yan yung monthly salary minus yung sa total deduction. So, 16,770 minus 1,457.75 ang magiging net pay is 15,312.25. Ganon lang din sa crew, i-add lahat ng contribution from SSS na 325, PhilHealth 162.50, and pag-ibig na 130. So, yung total nun is 617.50. Yan yung total deductions. Para makuha yung net pay, i-minus lang yung total deduction sa monthly salary. So, 6,500 minus 617.50, ang magiging net pay ng crew natin is 5,882.50. So, dito naman sa outsource employee, which is yung accountant nga. So, 10,000 yung rate niya per quarter. So, in a year, meron tayong 4 quarters. So, 4 times 10,000 lang, ang magiging annual income ng accountant is 40,000. So, sa future payroll computation naman, so 'di ba nga meron tayong 5% na increase sa salary ng employee natin. So, yung 16,770, imumultiply lang natin yon sa 1.05 para makuha natin yung monthly salary for the year 2027. So, 16,770 times 1.05, ang makukuha is 7,608.50. So, yan na yung magiging monthly salary ng store head natin for the year 2027. So, sa deduction, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, ganun lang din naman yung kanina, yung 10% para sa employer, 5% para sa employee, para yun sa SSS, and then PhilHealth, 5%, equally na babayaran nyo ng employer and employee. Pag-ibig naman is 2%. Pero yung sa storehead, ang maximum cap is 200 na. Ganun lang din. Sa crew, ganun lang din. So, each year, merong 5% na increase sa salary ng mga employees natin.
Sa Gantt chart naman, ito lang naman yung visual project management tool that shows our tasks or activities on a timeline. Dito natin makikita yung mga activities natin for the whole year and yung pagkakasunod-sunod nila. Yung months is yung naka-vertical, then yung mga activities naman na gagawin natin each month is yung horizontal. Sa year 2025, wait lang. Sa year 2025, may 9 tayong business action plan. For January to May, feasibility study. Sa June naman, searching for commercial space, pati yung accumulation of funds na rin. Tapos sa July, yung processing ng permits tsaka licenses. August is yung renovation ng commercial space. September, purchasing and installing of equipment. Tapos sa October naman, yung hiring naman. Tapos yung pag-train ng employees. Yung November, ito na yung bibili tayo ng ingredients for the products. Kasama na rin dyan yung parang maghanap tayo ng suppliers. Yung December, ito yung pre-launch natin. Sa year 2026 naman, may pita tayong marketing program. Pero yung months, kung titignan natin, 8 months yan. Kasi may isang marketing program na 2 months yung duration. Sa January, grand opening natin yon. Tsaka yun na yung first marketing program natin. Sa February, yung Valentine's special, yung second marketing program. Sa May, third marketing program natin. Sa June, fourth marketing program. Sa August, fifth marketing program. Ito yung sa October, November, ito yung yung 2 months, which is sixth marketing program natin. Well, yung last naman, December, seventh marketing program. Okay na.
Wait lang po. So, ayun, kailangan lang is 1 hour before ng shift nila is dapat makapag-report sila sa higher ups or sa management natin para magkaroon ng adjustment sa schedule or hindi maapektuhan yung operations. So, sa naman, wait lang. So, sa third bullet naman, um, yung employee is kapag mag-absent sila is kailangan nila i-inform yung higher ups. Then kapag more than 5 consecutive days yung absent sila is nang hindi ini-inform yung higher ups is magkakaroon ng heavy suspension or can subject to termination. So yung pang-apat na bullet is falsifying work hours. Yun, yung ano ba tawag doon? Ano pang termin? Yung parang dinuduga yung pag-time in nila. Ganon. Tapos meron pa yung isa, yung body punching. Yung kapag, kunyari, yung isang employee is papasok na siya dun sa store natin. And then yung isang employee is hindi siya, parang absent siya ganon. Tapos, ang gagawin yung present na employee is ita-time in siya and ita-time out siya. So, i-consider siya as fraud and magkakaroon ng disciplinary action or termination. So, yung last na bullet is yung extra breaks or yung pag-extend ng lunch or rest period nang walang approval ng management or higher ups is hindi siya allowed and magkakaroon ng disciplinary action. So, yung sa pangalawa naman yung personal hygiene and uniform policy. So, first bullet is employees maintain personal hygiene. So, yun, kailangan nila ma-maintain yung personal hygiene and yung pagkakaroon ng clean clothes, yung trim nails, yung saktong lang ng nails, gano'n. And syempre dapat ma-maintain pa rin na yung regular hand washing para maiwasan yung food contamination. Yung second bullet is official company uniforms must be worn correctly throughout the working hours. So, syempre dapat yung mga employees natin is kailangan suot nila yung company uniforms and yung mga unauthorized alterations, yung kumbaga yung pag-alter sa uniform and yung improper use and yung hindi tamang paggamit or hindi complete yung uniform nila is mag-lead siya sa disciplinary action. So, sa third bullet naman, employees handling foods are required to wear safety equipment. Yan, yung paggamit ng hairnets, gloves, aprons, and yung non-slip shoes para iwas na rin sa incident and maging safe yung mga employees natin while on duty. Next, yung fourth bullet, yung excessive makeup, false eyelashes, long nails, strong perfumes, or jewelries, is hindi siya permitted while in duty kasi nga, parang magpapresent tayo ng good image din sa mga, good image, ganun sa customers natin and para hindi rin maging unsafe or makontaminate yung mga food natin if ever na magkaroon na ng incident or what, gano'n. And then yung fifth bullet, yung anyone with illness, yan yung may mga lagnat, yung ubo or skin rashes, is dapat na-inform yung manager natin or yung ma-inform dapat yung higher ups as soon as possible para maalis agad sila sa kitchen or para hindi na sila duty pa, and then until further notice. So, kapag sinabihan na lang sila, ganun. Next. So, health, safety, and security policy. First bullet is parang connected siya, actually, connected siya sa Bosch training, which is nire-require yung mga staff na mag, malaman yung mga workplace hazards and paano ma-prevent yung accidents and paano mag-handle ng emergency para mas, yung maging safe and prepared yung mga employees while in duty. Yung second bullet, so ayun nga, work area should be maintained clean and organized always. So, syempre, kailangan sa kailangan sa business natin is ma-maintain natin yung clean and safe environment para naman hindi magkaroon ng mga food contaminant or para maging safe pa rin para maging para bang tawag para maging healthy pa rin yung food na ma-serve natin. And yung third bullet, safety comes first. So, yun nga, yung all concerns, lahat ng concern and yung mga broken equipment or yung unsafe condition, dapat ma-report siya sa management agad para ma-prevent yung injuries and magkaroon agad ng action. Fourth bullet, yung safety measures will be taken to ensure first aid kits and fire extinguishers are stocked and available at all times. So, connected din siya sa Bosch training and dapat aware yung mga employees natin sa basic first aid kits and yung tamang pag-handle ng fire extinguisher and dapat meron tayong stock nun or available dapat yun at all times. So safety training and safety drills will be conducted with all employee participation. So yun, dapat alam din nila yung mga basic safety training and safety drills, which is ituturo naman siya after ng yung sa Bosch training natin, yung store head is ituturo naman yun sa mga employees natin. So next bullet, acts of workplace vandalism, yung mga pagsusulat or spray paint sa walls, gano'n, and yung damaging equipment. Yung hindi siya, sa damaging equipment, hindi siya intentionally nasira. Yung, kumbaga, accident siya or naging careless yung employee. Yun, magiging cause siya magiging lead siya sa disciplinary action. And yung isa is intentionally destroying company assets. Siyempre, hindi rin siya magiging okay sa company sa business natin, especially company asset nga yun. So, mag-lead siya sa financial responsibility and possible termination. Next is employees are prohibited from using and paggagamit and yung hindi na pag-control or yung pagbenta and pag-distribute ng alcohol, sorry. So, yung yung mga pinagbabawal na nagbabawal na gamot, mga ganun, is may violation siya and it will result in immediate termination. So, yung unauthorized individuals are not allowed in restricted areas. Ito parang, siya, sa, yung last na, yung sa customer siya, yung company policy for customer, parang connected siya na, pwede na rin siya dito. So, yun, yung mga, hindi naman employees or hindi naman, paano ba masasabi? Hindi siya pwede dun sa store natin, which is yung sa mga sa kitchen natin, storage room or office, is para ma-maintain na rin yung safety and security ng employees natin. So, yung next is professional conduct and behavior etiquette. First bullet is, syempre, yung employees is nire-require na maging professional and magkaroon ng respect sa lahat ng colleagues and customer at all times para magkaroon tayo ng good company image. So next is gossip within the workplace. Sharing false rumors or any behavior that disrupts teamwork is strictly prohibited. Siyempre, hindi naman natin i-tolerate yung mga pagchichismisan and yung mga pag-share ng mga hindi naman makatotohanan na mga chika dyan, ganun, is hindi siya tinatolerate ng company natin. So, ayun, it's prohibited siya, ganun. And third bullet, conflicts between employees should be handled professionally. So, yun nga, yung problem or problema, yung problem ng mga employees natin is dapat ma-handle siya ng maayos. And yung mga unresolved issues is dapat ma-report siya agad sa management natin para magkaroon agad ng action. So, yung last bullet, company funds are not used for personal purchases or unauthorized purchases. So, yun nga, yung hindi pwedeng gamitin ng mga employees natin yung company funds natin para sa mga personal purchase nila, gano'n, yung hindi alam ng company natin. So, abuse or fraud yung tawag doon and mag-lead siya again sa severe disciplinary action, including yung termination and possible legal consequences.
Next naman natin is yung customer service and interaction. Sa una, ang nakalagay dyan na policy is employees should interact with customers professionally to improve customer satisfaction, to gain trust and loyalty, for the reason that it will reflect on the business reputation. Kumbaga, sinasabi niya sa unang bullet is to act professionally. When na-summarize ko lang yan, and then sa number 3 bullet is para naman siya classification customer service and use words that is easy to understand. Sa pangatlong bullet, yung the do's and don'ts dapat alam mo ng mga employees natin. And yung support, kung paano mag-handle ang situation. Overall, yung doon nila matututunan sa Number 6 naman is anti-self-harm. Employees Pinig na ako.
Mix di ka rin eh. Mata. Go lang.
Naririnig ba ako? Ang lakas kasi ng ulan eh. Audible ba?
Ate.
Okay, so sanctions and violations. So first, differentiate mo na yung violations from sanctions. yung violation, these are the actions or behaviors of employees that go against company rules and policies. While yung sanction naman, these are the penalties or consequences given to the employee because of violation. So ito yung mga sanctions na pwedeng ibigay for every violations na makukumit ng employees. One is verbal warning, two is written, three is for light suspension. Yung light suspension, 2 days siya. Para naman sa heavy suspension, 5 days siya. And then 5 is for termination and dismissal. So minor offense, so ito, hindi ko na to iisa-isahin since madali naman na tong intindihin since may legend naman na sa taas and para hindi na mag-consume ng mahabang oras. So, papahapyawan ko na lang for minor offense. So, dito, being absent without informing the higher ups, sa first offense, verbal warning pa lang siya. Sa second offense naman, written na. Para naman sa third offense, magkakaroon na ng heavy suspension. So, yung employee, pag yung absent niya is pang third offense na, magkakaroon na siya ng heavy suspension na 5 days. Para naman, sa fourth offense naman, ang magiging sanction na din is termination or dismissal. Para naman dun sa ganun lang din naman sa iba pang mga violations na makukumit ng employees. So, hindi ko na siya isahin since medyo hahaba yung oras natin. So, proceed na tayo sa major offense. Ganun lang din naman. Kapag yung employees is nag-smoke siya inside the workplace, sa first offense, agad, yung magiging sanction is light suspension for 2 days. Para naman sa second offense, heavy suspension na which is 5 days. For third offense naman, termination or dismissal na yung magiging sanction para sa employee. Ganun lang din sa ibang offense, sa ibang violations, ganun lang din yung magiging sanction para being under the influence of illegal drugs or alcohol while on duty. First offense is heavy suspension na 5 days. For second offense naman, termination or dismissal na. Theft or fraud, ang sanction doon is first offense pa lang, termination or dismissal na agad. Using company funds for personal purchases, first offense pa lang, termination and dismissal na yung sanction for that. Disclosing companies confidential information to unauthorized individuals. So, ang sanction dyan for first offense is termination or dismissal na agad. Refusing to perform a necessary job function when assigned. So, first offense, light suspension lang na 2 days. Second offense, heavy suspension for 5 days. Third offense naman is termination or dismissal na. Harassing co-employee or customers, first offense pa lang is, ang magiging sanction na dun is termination or dismissal. Disrespecting or mocking of superior, first offense, heavy suspension na 5 days. Second offense is termination or dismissal. Damage to business property due to negligence, first offense, light suspension na 2 days. Second offense, heavy suspension na 5 days, and third offense is termination or dismissal. Yun lang.
Hello? Audible ba ako, guys?
Audible.
Okay. Um, fringe benefits. Sorry guys, sorry kasi late ako. Yeah. So, sa ano muna tayo? Free uniform. Employees will receive a free uniform from the company to maintain a professional appearance and promote brand identity. This also help employees save on clothing expenses. So, sinasabi lang naman dito na yung fringe benefits nila, instead na gumastos pa sila sa uniforms, tayo na yung magpo-provide. Yun lang yun. Wala na ibang pasikot-sikot doon. Pero about naman dito sa Christmas bonus, so kasi inaral ko din siya, yung Christmas bonus is considered pala siya as compensation based sa BIR rules. So, hindi siya fringe benefits. No? Ano lang siya, additional payment bukod sa additional payment siya sa employees natin. Wait lang. Ayun nga. So, regular compensation lang yung tawag sa kanya. Pero tinanong ko kasi kung paano natin siya i-defend in case na tanong siya ba't siya naging fringe benefits, no? Kasi kaya siya magiging fringe benefits para sa atin kasi ano siya, additional payment, discretionary reward outside the employee's regular salary, given to promote goodwill, motivation, and loyalty. So parang ginagamit natin yung Christmas bonus para sipagan ng employee or mas maging loyal sa atin yung employee natin. Pero yun nga, based sa BIR rules, ano lang siya, regular compensation lang siya. Yun lang. Thank you. Okay, termination process. So, dito sinasabi lang naman dito yung yung paghinto ng employee must follow legal and company policies to ensure fairness and professionalism. It involves proper documents, clear communication, and compliance with labor regulation, following the correct step to protect both employer and employee while maintaining smooth transition. So dito lang, sinasabi lang naman dito sa termination process na dapat lahat ng gagawin sa pag-terminate is nakaayon pa rin sa labor regulations and dapat lahat yun nakadocument, no? So sa termination process, meron tayong tinatawag na involuntary termination, yung just case termination, illness or disease, saka authorized case termination. Labor Code of the Philippines Presidential Decree number 442. There are two legal bases to terminate employees in the Philippines. Those are just causes for termination and authorized termination. It requires due process with two notice rules to make sure that the employees are aware of the reasons for their termination and given the right response or to provide the remedy to avoid termination. So, ayun nga, kagaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, kailangan alam ng both parties, lalo na ng empleyado, kung bakit siya mataterminate, o kaya kung bakit, or ano yung mga possibilities ba't siya ito-terminate. No? First, let's go sa just cause termination. This refers to legal reasons to terminate employees or to end employees' employment contract initiated by the employer due to the wrongful actions of the employees. No? So, dito sa just cause, ang mga possible termination dyan, yung pag serious misbehavior or deliberate disobedience, gross and persistent negligence in duty, fraud, or deliberate breach trust, committing a crime or offense. So, yun, parang dito yung mga illegal things lang na ginagawa ng employee. So, sa just cause, termination, meron tayong procedure dyan. First is, if the employee has been found doing wrongful action, behavior, and attitude, the employee will be given a verbal warning as per first offense. So sa una, pag nakita natin na yung employee natin ay merong hindi ginagawa maganda, verbal lang muna. Next is when an when an employee reaches the fifth offense, the employee will be given a notice of dismissal letter or notice to explain. So, pag paulit-ulit na nangyayari sa employee natin yung mga ginagawa niya, bibigyan natin siya ng karapatan to explain yung side niya or dismissal letter niya kasi paulit-ulit niya. So, dito parang depende sa company kung terminate or notice to explain pa kasi fifth offense na yun. Next, the company will conduct an admin hearing for employees. The employees will be given a chance to explain and defend themselves against the penalty or violation they commit. The employees will take counseling to know the reason for doing the violation again and again. So dito, magpapamiting tayo, yun lang. Yun lang yun. Once the hearing has been taken, the notice for termination will be sent to the employee indicating the reasons for ending the employee employment contract. In considering the side of the employee, the decision for termination will be based upon the investigation and reviewing the case of the employee. So dito parang yung last step dito is whether to terminate or not yung employees. Kung based ba sa investigation natin, tsaka dun sa sinabi ng employee is magpa-match. Next, authorized cause termination. Unlike just cause termination, which arises from employees' negligence or misconduct, authorized cause terminations arises due to the following reasons: installation of labor and saving devices, redundancy, retrenchment, closure, and cessation of operation. So, sa authorized cause termination, meron din tayong procedure na sinusunod. The employer will send a written notice of dismissal to the employee stating the valid grounds for dismissal at least 30 days before the termination. So, magbibigay muna tayo ng notice, written notice, no? Dito dapat documented. The copy of notice will be sent to the regional office of Department of Labor and Employment where the employer is located. So, yeah, magsisend tayo ng copy sa Department of Labor. The final procedure, the employee will given is separation pay together with the final pay. So, dito lahat ng sahod niya, lahat ng huling sahod niya, saka lahat ng payment na makukuha niya sa atin, ibibigay na natin sa kanya. Termination due to illness.
Termination due to illness. Under nito usually is severe cases na hindi kayang ma-cure within 6 months. Then yung procedure nito is first, mag-issue muna ng written of notice regarding sa reason for termination sa employee. Then bibigyan siya ng 5 araw para magpaliwanag. Once na na-prove na yung sakit ng employee is di kayang ma-cure within 6 months, need ng employer na mag-provide ng certificate na in-issue ng competent public health authority for legal termination. Then, after nun, makakatanggap yung employee ng separation pay of at least 1 month ng salary niya or 1/2 salary for every year of service ng employee, whichever is greater with at least 6 months counting as 1 year. Next naman is voluntary termination. Under ng voluntary termination is resignation, which is yung employee kapag-decide siya na i-end na yung contract niya due to following reason. Like for examples, new opportunities, increase in compensation, and dissatisfaction. For procedure naman sa resignation, first, need muna magpasa ng employee ng written resignation letter sa HR at least isang buwan bago yung last day of work. Then, once na na-receive na yung written resignation letter, i-evaluate naman to ng HR. Then after nun, need i-acknowledge na employer yung resignation letter. Next is magkakandak tayo ng exit interview for employee pero di siya mandatory. Purpose lang naman nun is para makuha natin yung feedback niya regarding sa experience within the organization or yung reason kung bakit siya aalis. Then, yung information na provide niya, wait lang. Sorry. Then yung information na provide niya is magamit ng company natin para may address yung mga issue. Then, to increase na rin yung employee retention. After nun, the employee will be given a 30 days of completion na need i-comply ng employee since nakasaad siya sa labor code and also sa contract. Pero minsan naman di naman need i-comply yung 30 days. If yung reason ng resignation ng employee is just cause or like for example is yung pagmamaltrato ng employer. Yun lang.
Ayun lang guys. End na kayo. Sa Saturday na lang ulit.
Yung
Thank you.
sa company policies, hindi na.
Okay ka na? Okay na yung net mo? Sige, wait lang guys.
Sige, dinig ba ako? Mabilis lang to, promise. Ay, yung sa number 5, kagaya na sinabi ko, customer service and interaction, para lang kagaya siya nung sa training program. Yan, dun matuturo yon yung mga nakapaloob dyan. Then, dyan na yung applications or yan, yung mga policy na dapat nilang sundin. Like yan yung sa unang bullet, ang sinasabi lang dyan is dapat act professionally, kagaya siya nakalagay sa training program. Then yan yung sumunod is use words that is easy to understand para hindi kayo magkalituhan pa ng customer. Then yung 3, yung do's and don't, ayan, kailangan alam na yan ng bawat employee. Then yung number 4, last sa number 5 is, kung paano mag-handle ng situation yung isang employee. Dapat alam niya or kaya niya. Then yung sumunod is yung number 6, anti-sexual harassment. Yan, bali, summarize ko na lang. Yung mga nakapaloob dyan is action must not be confusing to avoid misunderstanding between the customer. Then yung next bullet, parang be cautious in their words lang. Yung number 6 din, parang kagaya lang din siya na nakapaloob dun sa training program, yung communication, yung customer service and communication seminar. Doon, lang din yan, doon ituturo din dito yung application. Yan, be cautious in their words. And pangatlong bullet, parang ready a clear process or solution whenever there's an incident of sexual harassment. Parang naging definition or what yan pero dapat hindi ganyan nakalagay. Then yung number 4, an environment that respect each other gender orientation. Ganun lang, para maiwasan yung kung ano mang incident yun. Kumbaga, respect each other. Kung ano yung preference nila or orientation nila. Then next naman is yung number 7, salary and benefit policy. Yan. Nakalagay lang dyan is different salary range for different job position. Sa pangalawang bullet, employee should receive their salary twice a month yan guys. Hindi siya twice a week. Yan, may error po dyan. Then, ayan, summarization lang. Company must be consistent sa pagpapasahod and pag-provide ng mga additional benefits or pagbigay ng mga benefits na dapat sa kanila. And then yun, number 8, last na is company policies for customers. Yan, for customers naman to. Kagaya niyan, fall in line for fairness of everyone. Pero siguro naman, may nakapaskill sa atin yan. Yan, para lang to sa mga customer. Then yan, ang policy natin is pay as you order or payment first tayo. Kagaya na nakalagay dyan sa number 2 na bullet. And then, number 3, sa store natin, kapag nag-dine in sila, smoking is strictly prohibited. Yan lang din. And also, bawal magdala ng mga, lethal weapons. Yung pwedeng maka-harm ng iba. Then, number 4, may rules and regulation na nakapaskill tayo na makikita agad ng mga customer para alam nila yung mga dapat gawin sa hindi. Once na pumunta sila sa store natin or kapag nag-dine in. Then last na is, customer is the one who is liable to their belongings. But we have lost and found section naman for them to check if nandoon yung mga gamit nila na naiwan nila nung nag-dine in or kumain sila sa Snack and Pop. Ayun lang, guys.
Okay na guys. Thank you. See you sa SAT.